Hi, welcome to this session. As I said, my name is Carl Stanley and we're going through business architecture and building skills. So we know why we're in business, we know who we're in business for, and now we're going to figure out how we do business. How do we do our business? All right. We're going to look at a technique called the business model canvas, and this works very closely with our value proposition canvas. So let me draw it up and we'll take you through the key ideas or concepts, and then I'll overlay it with my business. Okay, so just bear with me 1 second. There it is. 9 blocks, right? Actually, there's the 9 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different blocks, right? Building blocks of your business, basically. Okay, so we've already talked about our customers, right? Right? We've also talked about our products and services. Right? The business model canvas actually calls those value propositions. Right? So we looked at a value proposition for, or a proposition for our solution architect, time poor solution architect, efficient, effective learning, quickly developed and easy to digest. Okay, so products and services. Now, what about the cost of doing business and the revenue we can expect? And then what channel are we going to meet said customers? Okay, and then what key activities and therefore what key resources? So key resources cost money. See what I mean? So we're breaking down the business into, front of the shop and the back of the shop. Back end. Right? So, makes sense? Most companies are broken down. So these are the key concepts. And then we have to partner with someone. We can't expect to take in all. If we did everything ourselves, we'd be infinite, which we can't be. Okay, so that's the concept of our business model canvas, and we can test our businesses out really quickly. Again, context and transformation. So can you see, if I go back to solution architect, business architect, SAPM, if you're having these levels of discussions with your stakeholders and you understand their products and services out to market, you're getting the context. And if you're a solution architect, it's great. You need to know what information systems are propping up these value propositions and then understand that map. And then if you're starting to do things that aren't relevant, you have to question why you're doing them. So business architecture, business model canvas. Hi. So now that we have the concepts for the business model canvas, let's take a walk, and I'll show you through my business. We'll take a walk as if we were one of these customers. All right. So this is how we do business. So who was our customer again? Wasn't it our solution architect? All right. So when he knocks on the front door, knock, 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 what channel is he coming to? Therefore, what is my shop front? Okay, so in this case, because we're talking about transformation, moving to different business models, I'm transforming my business from classroom led, which is one channel, to online. So what channel are we going to? Online. www. Right? or classroom. Okay. And then from a business perspective, that comes with two different sort of revenue streams, right? So say it was an online class, be it recorded, like this one. That might cost $1, and it's specifically for a knowledge worker, a solution architect who wants to be efficient and understand his context. If it was classroom-led, where you've got 4 days, and it's about certification, that might be more money, right? So all of a sudden you start to see how our channels influence, what sort of revenues. So now we're spitballing our business. So how do we do business? Great skills to have in our back pocket when it comes time to speaking to the business and having us understand them. Okay. Now, remember we talked about the different products and services. So I have an online recorded course for enterprise architects and solution architects, teaching building skills for enterprise architecture using contemporary tools and techniques. Okay. Now, those courses, what are my key activities as a business? So, I research, develop, and present course material. So if I had to put it at level 1 above my company, these are the major headings of key activities I do. I research, develop, and present. I research different types of customers. I make sure there's hands-on techniques in there that I've done aligned with my mission. Okay, you see how all these things are helping us funnel down and have a key focus on what we're doing. And then I need key resources to research, develop, and present course material. So what key resources? These are called capabilities, right? Capabilities, right? What's a capability? People, process, information, and tools to do something, right? PPIT. And therefore, once you have those key capabilities, you understand the cost, right? So let's say I wanted to do an online classroom and I need an upfront, and you've probably sort of heard this term before, but we have startup costs for these things. So if I want to stand up just this one course, what do I have to do? Well, I have to have a build of material, right? Hardware, software, and labor to get these capabilities up and running. Now, what I've done, and as I said, I'm using my company as an illustration, I've actually penned a BOM, a build of materials, hardware, software, and labor. Now, this is value add to you as the student in this case. And I'll put it to you in an Excel spreadsheet. And it basically goes through an online business. So I've got camera equipment, I've lighting equipment, I've had to do training, I've had to buy certain editing software, different types, different versions of software, learn skills on post-production editing, those sort of things. So those form my key capabilities. So product management, right? So I create products. Customer management. These are key mutually exclusive capabilities. And then I have sub-capabilities, online delivery, underneath presentation of my courses, classroom delivery, all right, different training certificates that I need, okay? So now we've taken a walk and hopefully we understand our customer and now we know our cost of doing business and then who do we have to partner with, right? So in this case, obviously, udemy.com. Now, let me just give a shout out. In the past, it was very difficult to get this sort of stuff online. You had to set up your own website. If you notice the training game, it's been Ubered. So if we understand what Uber is, it's basically changed the way the taxi industry works. You've got a point to point. Here's a smart device. I can go and connect up with someone who will drive me somewhere, and there's a referenceable list of all of their, previous rides, so that I can say, this is a good driver, a credible driver, So they basically cut out the middleman. So Udemy has done a very similar thing. Sales, so they market, sell. So all these capabilities that I would have to have internally myself, I have to have my website, those sort of things. Obviously, I partner with them and they take a portion of the revenue, but I don't have to do all that other stuff. So you delegate those things. I concentrate on my core key activities, right? My core value, right? So they call those things the value chain. So as we go through that funnel, we're going to go further and further down into our value chain and then our core capabilities. But now you understand how they hook up, right? The capabilities underneath the value chain for what products and services, called and named, of course. Here's my partner. So this is some very valuable stuff. And I'm hoping that it's motivating you to create your own business models, your own value proposition canvases. These things will help you focus your business and understand what objectives there are. Now, one last thing we should connect up here, which I'm going to, summarize at the end, but I'll connect up the fact that these capabilities are the things that get linked to your business motivation model objectives. So these are the things you can measure, and then you know whether you're on strategy or on plan. So now that we've mapped all this stuff out and we've organized it, you can see how in large companies, corporate strategy, the mission's one thing, but then the arms and legs are doing all sorts of other things. So if we can keep it simple and then succinct, and we're always going toward that vision and that mission, and we understand where our context is, we can transform our businesses. And then we further model it down into people, process, information, and tools. So I've actually got another course on enterprise architecture techniques that talk about modeling people, process, information, and tools. So modeling, what do I mean modeling? So you model cars so that when you stick them out into the real world, you understand how the wind is going to operate. So you test the model, okay? You can do the same thing with enterprise architecture, from business, process, data, application, and technology services, and model those and make sure that when you call out a new transformation, a new program, that you can see the impacts, right? So we talk about all these things like agile this, agile that, agile enterprise architecture, so I'm giving you my opinion judiciously here. But if you had things modeled correctly and then you can see the impacts, it doesn't matter how fast you want to go. I'll give you a minute agile. I'll tell you, if you touch that business process, you're touching that key product or service and it's affecting that customer over there. If you can get to that level of detail, you are going to be able to keep your company on path and adapt to the rapid change that's happening. And believe you me, if you get outside of your own company, there are massive things changing around the markets now. So we're going to go into the next part, which is our value chain, and then our key capabilities. And like I said, I've actually given you a bill of materials so you can build your own type of business and see what that looks like. Okay,